Welcome to the Rocking Your Role show with me, Jenny Garrett, author, coach and speaker. Today I'm joined by Shirley Palmer. Now, I don't think I'll say too much to introduce her because there is so much to say, and I'd love her to introduce herself and tell us all about what she does, how she does it, and what makes her uniquely her, and how she rocks her role in life and work. Welcome, Shirley. How are you today?
Hi, Jenny. I'm great. Shame the weather's a bit grim, but the most important thing is, it's another day, another start, another process.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I really want to just start by you telling us what you do and what motivates you to do that.
Principally what I do is teach mindset. So the important thing for me is helping people understand, as simple as my strapline in one of my businesses, life is as simple as think it, feel it, do it. I think people have got so confused today with everything else around them and not understanding that it doesn't need to be complicated. It's about how we function, how we work, how we bring in our own mindset to achieve what it is that we want to do, and therefore see it in an easier mannerism.
Okay, can you tell me, so you said one of my businesses. How
Yeah.
many businesses do you have?
Okay,
What sort of
I have two.
businesses are they?
I have two. To be fair, they both cover the same thread. So it is very much about personal development, business development. I should probably explain a little bit about my background, and that might help in the vein. But
Okay.
at heart, I'm a country girl. I'm originally from Northern Ireland. That's where I was born. That's where my family are.
Okay.
I fled for the bright lights of London at one stage in my career, thinking, okay, what would I like to do? And for me, that was about running a business. What would that business be? What would that look like? I really, to be fair, I wasn't 100% sure, but for me, it was about learning all those skills. So I've worked in finance, I've worked in publishing, but for me, the key thing was getting to the core of businesses. So I ended up working in private equity, and I've spent about 18 years in private equity. That taught me really the skill set to look at, well, what is a business and how do you look at it? Through part of that process, I realized that actually my passion was people. And really, what is a business? A business is a product and some people. But if you've got a product and you don't have those people with the right mindset, then actually you don't really have something that you can sell. So as an example of that is, if you were to look at a business that has a sales team, and some of those people in those team are not comfortable with that role anymore. It's the challenge, there's always targets to meet. It's not their natural place to sit because they don't want to be in that position of selling. So through using a couple of tools that I use, looking at people's mindset, how they actually work, whether they're of growth or whether they're fixed, looking at a very simple personality test, I can help that business understand the importance of, well, have you got the right people in the right roles? Sometimes what we find is we have individuals who actually aren't suitable for a sales role, but actually much more suitable in a marketing role. So they can still move within the business wins,
Yes.
and the individual wins.
Right. Okay.
So for me, it doesn't matter whether I'm working with an individual, whether a group, whether it's a business. The key thing at the end of the day is helping those individuals or those organizations see the importance of, when you can master your own mindset, actually you can achieve anything. So for me, the joy is every day, if it means there's only one person that I help that day, that to me is another day worth living, because I've helped them see the difference in what that is. And the joy, the inspiration, the motivation that I get out of helping those other people is the most important thing to me. It's not, lots of people say to me, but, how did you suddenly go from private equity into personal development, or an element of, some people label it as coaching. And I say, well, for me, it is all about people and helping them see what that can be. It was a journey. It was a journey. Life has been a journey for me. My first business I set up 7 years ago. That was, I did an amazing trip to Africa. I came back from Africa and I suddenly went, there's something missing in my life. I've got the great job, I've got all the trimmings with it, the nice home, the nice car, but actually there was a bit of me missing. A bit of my heart was missing. It was simply saying, okay, what else? And for me, the realization was about giving back and helping other people see the importance of actually what is it you really want to do and what does that look like. So yes, I've done training, I've done soul searching, I've been very lucky. I've worked with in the personal development world, I've worked with some of the best in the world. I've worked with Ali Brown, I've worked with Jack Canfield, Marcy Shimoff, Robin Sharma, and I've been fortunate to be in a position to be able to do that and to understand other people's mythologies. But the key thing when you say about crafting your role and rocking your role has to be, you have to find what works for you, and you have to find the important thing that you know that you can share with your audience and your clients and help them see this is how easy it is. It's really not that complex, but it wasn't always that easy.
Yes, yeah. I think this mindset is really, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's simple, but it's so complex. If it was, it's simple, but it's not easy to change your mindset because, well, if it was so easy, we'd all have done it, wouldn't we?
I think there's two sides to that. So there's two flip sides to that. The answer is yes, it is easy, and I've had psychologists confront me and say, well, it's not, and it takes this and it takes that, and I say, actually, it takes a single second. And that second is a second when you change your mind. We have a choice. The one thing as human beings we were given was free will. And the importance of using that free will is that we have a choice to do something about it. Now, the key thing with the choice is when you've made the decision and say, you know what, today I'm going to make a difference today. If we look at, as an example, one of the biggest challenges I think for women today is procrastination. So, we sit down and we say, oh, I can't do this, or I'll put this off, or I'll start it tomorrow, or they're looking at their to-do list and it's like, oh, look, and they always put off what they think is the most challenging thing to do. Well, actually, if in that second you choose, you know what, today I'm going to do it. Today I'm going to make that difference. Actually, let's take that most difficult thing and go do it. What happens at the end of it when you do it? You feel amazing, because it's like you've just gone, oh my God, I've done it, I've achieved it, I've pushed through and I've done it. Well, the key thing with most things, it's like routines and rituals. It's bringing in the pattern, and the joy again today is we're getting more comfort and sustainable advice from the scientists who are helping us understand how the brain works. And the key thing with this is when you go over and you keep doing these things repeatedly and build in your routines, actually it suddenly becomes automatic. So you don't have to think about it anymore. It's about the neural pathways that are relaying itself on the brain. And that's why there's a differentiation. Some people will say it takes 28 days to actually create new habits, or break an old habit. Some people are actually saying it's as much as 66. Part of that is down to the individual and how they themselves can look at change and how change resonates for them.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful, thank you. So I'm listening and watching you, and I'm thinking this is a very strong woman with very strong ideas and quite a lot of focus. That's what an impression I take about the sort of person you are. And I wonder, where did that come from? How is that? Have you always been like this?
Thank you, Jenny, for the lovely compliment. The answer to that is no. So I should probably share a little bit of some of my challenges, I guess, which brought me to where I am today. For me, I take the stance that as individuals, part of what we do is we don't understand that we suddenly get to a stage, whether we're in our 20s, we're 30s, 40s, and we become an onion. Because what we've done is we've literally taken on all the things around us from our peers, our parents, school, university, work, and we've kind of lost a little element of who ourselves were. And I started that probably at an early childhood. So there was two flip sides to that. There was one when I was somewhere around 11, and as you know, in the UK, in some areas we did the 11 plus. I went to do the 11 plus, and my mum said to me, "Honey, don't worry about it. I'm not sure that you're clever enough really to do this, and don't worry about it. You will end up where you end up." I unfortunately took the wrong side of that, and I kind of took the thought process that my mum thought, "Oh, I'm not bright enough. I'm not intelligent enough." The crazy thing was, I did do the 11 plus, and I did get through. I did go to grammar school, but actually, to be honest, really didn't like grammar school. I didn't like the means of the education. I was actually bullied. Most people look at me today and go, "You couldn't possibly ever have been bullied," but I was a mouse. I was a little mouse, so I had to find my voice somewhere along the lines there. But I left there making the decision that I didn't want to do my A-levels there, and I actually wanted to go and do a business course. That for me was one of the pivotal changes in that stance, in that, you know, I went to a local business college. I found a course that resonated with me, and I did 13 exams in 1 year, and I literally just excelled through every single one of those, because I allowed myself to find something that really resonated with me and the importance of what that was. Likewise, again, what would I say? Private equity arena, as you know, is very male dominated. I spent 18 years there. That again was a tough challenge, but I think I always had the thought process that, and I've always taken the stance, and I realized this from a someone told me a story recently of me at the age of 3, and leaving my parents' home. I had a baby sister at that point in time, so she literally was a baby, and I kind of left. My parents have a small farm, and I'd walked out of kind of the back door and walked down the yard and through a little element of a field, cross over a stream that potentially I could have fallen into, yes. Thanks I didn't, and walked up the fields to my grandparents. Wow. So it helped me reaffirm the tenacity that I had, the perseverance that I had, that I was always someone who was driven. There was 2 other bits in there that kind of came about, one of them probably around the age of 12 as well, which was about, you know, we were brought up to go to Sunday school. Yeah. And I remember going home one Sunday afternoon and saying to Mum, "I don't get this thing. What's this thing called faith? You know, how do I understand this? How do I relate to this?" And she did. My mum was a young mum. You know, my mum got married at 18. And she did her best to explain to me what that interpretation was. But she said, "You know, one day you will understand it and you will feel it." And it was that understanding that faith is not something that you can touch. It's just something that you feel. And I realized, for me, the most important thing that we are taught is, and that we have to believe in, is ourselves. And when you can allow yourself to believe in yourself and believe in the greater power that be, I respect, you know, whatever, different people have different thoughts of what they want to call that, whether they want to call that the universe, whether they want to call that an energy, whether they want to call that God. But when you allow yourself to believe in you and believe that we're all connected to that, again, you can attain and achieve anything when you're allowing yourself to step into that. The private equity arena taught me vision and the importance of, when you're looking at a business and when you're looking at your life, what's the big picture? You must always look at the dream, look at the big picture, focus on the importance of what that means to you, but keep taking the baby steps along the way. The gift that I didn't realize that I had, probably until a few people pointed it out to me and said, "My God, you've gone through some incredible challenges in your life, but you've never ever held a grudge or a grievance or anything about any of these things. Why do you do this?" And I've said, the most important thing we must learn to do is not judge anybody in any situation because of their belief or what they do. Everybody is on a journey in their life, and therefore we have to respect that with them and guide them. You know, if we're doing our own work in that process and we're working with them, guide them in the best way possible to help them on that journey. But what I realized that I was doing was, when it came to obstacles and challenges, I automatically flipped them. So I automatically just went, okay, I've been presented with this. It is a bit of a challenge. How can I look at it differently, and how can I turn it around? So for me, I always just say, let's turn this round. What's the win out of this?
Yes.
Where's the opportunity in this? But the most important thing is learn from it, because if we don't learn from those lessons, they will come back and they'll keep repeating until we do learn from them.
Keeps coming, doesn't it, until you learn. You can't run away.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing some wonderful themes. So vision is critical.
Yeah.
And I think particularly as female entrepreneurs, sometimes we do have so many tasks, and we don't take that step back and think, well, what's this? Where am I going? And what's that? As you said, what's that one thing that will take me there, instead of the 20 things that will probably take me going round in circles. So I love that vision, your tenacity from quite an early age, and also learning. Taking every situation as a learning experience, and this faith and focus and perseverance, I think they're sort of together for me, because they're sort of, that's what keeps you going, isn't it? For me, that faith, and knowing there's something bigger than yourself. For some people that's a challenge, I think, to consider where faith fits in. Did you have to, or do some of your clients find that a challenge? Do you bring that into your work?
For me, the key thing is learning about that individual and what's important to them and what resonates to them. If someone, one of the questions I will ask my clients are, what do you believe? What do you believe? Where do you see yourself in the greater scheme of life? And what is that? How do you feel that you resonate with that? What is that? I watched a great interview yesterday and on TV, and it was one of those moments where a young man who was an actor was actually he was looking at the younger generation. He was simply saying, he was saying to some of these kids, he said, so do you believe in God? And they go, well, kinda. We don't believe in this man up there in the sky with this big white beard, but we kind of know that there is something else going on out there, and we can't quite relate to or resonate to what that is. So it doesn't matter to me what religion someone is. The most important fact for me is that if you can allow yourself to believe in something, then actually you're a believer. And there is lots of different people out there believing in lots of different things associated with gods and lots of different religions, but actually the end game is actually you're still a believer. And if you can appreciate and understand and accept that we all are part of a greater universe and a greater energy and a greater something else that's going on, then actually we're all connected, and we're all the most powerful bit of that is actually creating legacies, how we can help more people, how we can guide more people to understand that actually, why not believe in yourself? Why not take the risk today and jump off that cliff, not metaphorically speaking, of course, and make today the new day to do something that you really want to do. What difference can it make for you to do something that you're really passionate about in your life? What about that book that you've been going to write? What about, you wanted to go and study that language? What about, all the things that inspire us, rather than, and bringing in that creative side of us, the importance again of doing that. Whether it's, if you just want to go paint. You don't have to be Picasso, but go paint. enjoy it. Allow yourself to tap into the right brain more, rather than always sitting on the left brain and the logical thing. And understand that we are not our things. We are not our things. So sorry, ladies. Is it really a new handbag that you want? Is it really a new pair of shoes that you want? Yeah, we love those things. That's great. But actually, the important thing is looking at how else can you invest in yourself and feel better from day to day in what it is that you're doing, and not berate yourself or beat yourself up because, oh my goodness, I had another piece of chocolate today and I really shouldn't have had that. You know what? It's another, food is one of the things that I find quite fascinating with my clients. I have a young lady actually in Toronto that I'm working with at the moment.
Right.
And, we've gone through a process over 8 weeks now of really looking at how she's completely changed how she eats, and how she feels so much healthier, not as lethargic. She's doing different types of exercise. In fact, she was doing aerial gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds quite energetic, I have to say. But looking at what else you can do and how you can do it differently for the benefit of you, because the end game is you only should be doing it for you. It's about you and paying attention to you. So whether you're a mom or a wife, actually take that extra minute out today and just say, okay, what are you going to do for you today? Not for your husband, not for your kids, not for the job or the business, but what can you do for you today? So carve out that little bit of time that's important to you.
Lovely. Yeah, I completely relate to that, and that's really around that rocking your role message, which is having me time is a critical part of it. And actually, if you don't invest in yourself, then that is actually a selfish act, because you can't be there for other people.
Yeah.
So invest in you and give yourself that time. So if you were thinking about, you've shared so many insights with us, but if you were sort of distilling maybe 3 tips in terms of really mastering your mindset, and you may have mentioned them already, what would they be?
I think actually I'm going to throw a little challenge out, and that is, I don't know, to any of the audience, if you've recently bought a new car, what was it you were buying? What color was that car? And when you made that decision to buy the car, it's like a little bit like, so for me, I'm a lover of Audis, but I know there's a lot of people that love, let's take the Mini as an example. Lots of people really love the Mini. So let's say you were deciding, I'm going to go buy a little red Mini. Well, actually what happens? All of a sudden, you start seeing red Minis everywhere. And it's about that power of simply showing how the brain works. So, if we said to the audience, wherever you are right now, just take a second, close your eyes, literally for like 3 seconds, and then just say, open your eyes and look and see how many color blues you see around you. Close your eyes again, open up, how many reds do you see around you? And actually, what most people don't realize is when you allow yourself to focus on something, then you're actually bringing that to your attention. So the acronym that I would throw in there to help people to look at what you could do to change your mindset, it's a lovely little word I love, it's called F.A.B, F-A-B. Focus, take action, and believe. So lots of women typically will have to-do lists. I'm an advocate of not to-do lists. So simply saying, forget the to-do list, because the to-do list is always going to get added to. At the end of your day, you're still going to feel crap if you've still got a long to-do list. You're going to feel that you haven't achieved because you're consistently multitasking. So I'm simply saying, F.A.B, focus, take action, and believe. One of the tips I get my clients to do with when I'm working on a one-on-one is look at your top 5s for your day. And I've kind of found that 5 is a reasonable number to work with. So every morning, as part of, I have a routine that I encourage people to go through. But one of the things in that routine is this top 5. So sit down, look at what the top 5 things are that you need to do today. One of those needs to be associated with your big vision. So where are you going? Where's your business going? Where's your life going? At least have one that's taking you another step in that direction. Two, if it's as simple as you want to pick up the phone to speak to your mum or your dad today, you need to make sure you call them, or it's a family member's birthday. You can put that on the list as well if you wish. Look, whatever those key 5 things, if it's about a particular client that you need to make sure that you call today and you don't forget. But you want to know when it comes to the end of your day that you can literally go tick, 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 tick. Those 5 are done.
Yeah.
The feeling that you're going to get of having achieved those is going to be great. That's what we want to encourage. We want to encourage that every day you're feeling that you're getting closer and closer to your goals, not a great big long to-do list that you can't tick off. So I would say that's important. I think another thing is about procrastination. As I said earlier on that, women are huge procrastinators. We say, oh no, I'll put this off, I'll wait till the next day. And I'd say, give yourself a little bit more time. Allow yourself a little bit more time. If exercise is something that's key on your agenda, do you know what? Get up 30 minutes early. And if it means you literally just go out for a walk for 10 minutes, do the 10-minute walk. Before you know it, that 10-minute walk will be a 20-minute walk and maybe a 30-minute walk. And actually, if it's a walk, that's enough. Yeah. It's still doing something. Science has shown today that 15 minutes of exercise can stay with you for 15 hours.
Wow. Okay.
So, if you can do that buzz every morning, actually that's going to help you on that path to keeping you in that zone.
We're running out of time, sadly. It's going so quickly today. So I think
that's okay. Reward yourself.
Reward ourselves. Okay. And what I'm hearing from you is start now. Start small. Start now. Do something today. So how can people get in touch with you?
My website is www.shirleypalmer.com. Various different programs, mastermind groups, lots of different opportunities to connect and see what I'm doing.
Okay, and it doesn't matter where we are in the world. You're willing. You work with everyone internationally. Is that right?
That's correct. No, I do. I have international clients all over. I think the key thing is I'm hoping to reciprocate this, Jenny, because on the 3rd of June I'm launching my own radio show.
Right. Okay.
So that is it's called Shirley Talks. It's on Blog Talk Radio.
Fantastic.
And it's through the EWN network, so a fantastic American ladies network. So again, the focus on helping female entrepreneurs and see what else we can do with the difference. And I'm hoping that towards the end of the summer my book will be out as well. So that's called 12 Words. So I'm hoping people feel that that's an inspiring and motivating read to help them understand the simple steps and simple processes through those words that can help them attain the mindset that they want to achieve.
Thank you. Oh, it's been a real pleasure to speak to you. There have been lots of nuggets and really practical tips to help us. Wishing you success and looking forward to hearing from you again soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jenny.